And this is Freedom Friday, everyone. Freedom Friday is a time where we reflect upon our values as Americans, what we are here for, why we are Americans, what America's all about. Why don't we start with that? Tonight's topic is retaining our freedom in a world where people are taking money away. All right. Bottom line is our value of our dollar has shrunk, even though it's still buoyant. I don't know how to explain that to you, but the dollar is still buoyant in the world market because the whole world is basically, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. The whole world the global economy is shrinking. And many people don't realize that problem is an overall problem. So we may have a good value in our dollar because we've got a lot of reasons to have that dollar value. One is the petrodollar, which we protect with a very strong military. Dave, should big business get tax breaks as much revenue as they generate? No. In fact, I would agree with the many people on the left. I think the oil companies should be taxed heavily. I know. The Dow is basically hovering still at a very all-time high. Thank you, guest 485. And that all-time high is partly due to the fact that most of the people investing on Wall Street have borrowed tons of money from the Federal Reserve. And none of them have any idea. Watch your language, buddy. None of them have any idea what's coming. That's right. I'm the cold beer served up in the desert of political dissipation or evaporation. Okay, data servers are being updated over at Google. Okay, thanks for that. I ran for State House in the last election, and all the Democrats and Republican competitors stole my signs. We have approximately 28,000 troops in Afghanistan right now. Guess 268. Yes, my tax plan, my fair tax plan, will tax churches. Monkey times. Anybody who makes over $100,000 in my graduated flat tax program will pay a tax. So if a church can't run for less than $100,000, they'll have to pay a tax on everything above $100,000. That's not asking a lot. Anybody can do this. It's a great plan. Everyone's loving it. Yeah, you want to talk about my personal life? Feel free. Go ahead. Ask away. I may not answer everything, but go ahead. Will Mitt Romney pay taxes? Probably not. Likely, no. He's got a lot of tax advisors. And the Republicans and the Democrats have squirmed around like sneaky snakes to get all these tax credits and tax deductions, which will prevent a lot of future taxation for a lot of these cronies, corporate cronies. That's what's happening in America. Corporate cronyism has invaded our political structure, and now we're faced with the curse of the same old, same old. I call it the curse of the same old, same old. We're getting the same old stuff coming out of the same old people, and they keep getting reelected. It's a curse, all right. Yeah, talk about my personal life. Hanging out with Sarah and Amber, exactly. That legal marijuana law allows me to, yeah, sure. If I wanted to, I could go down and buy overpriced marijuana with less THC than black market marijuana, thanks to the Democrats here in my area. They aren't selling much marijuana. In fact, they've got a huge amount of marijuana they can't even get rid of. They produce 10 times more than they need here in marijuana land in Washington. You rarely even see a place to sell it, ever. And it's still almost 2 years since they passed the law. They're not making much of a profit, and they continue to limit the THC that goes in these dispensaries, these recreational dispensaries, which is just some old guy sitting there going, yeah, I'm trying to make a living, I like to smoke, so, And so I'm sure the whole story of the Democrats and their marijuana legalization plan in Washington is going to go down in history as the Etzel of modern business. But yeah, Colorado's going great because they don't have the huge taxes and the limitations on the THC content. No, I'm not asexual. No. I'm omnisexual. Now you can go look that up if you want. Dave, get a green card already? I'm a U.S. citizen, dude, and I have the right to protect my rights. It's Freedom Friday, and let's talk about it. Hello, Sarah. Welcome to the show. Obama is going to veto sanctions on... I don't even want to read that tripe coming out of the propaganda machine, but I'll look at it later. Okay, you can talk to Sarah. She's going to hang out.
I'm going to hang out.
I'm going to get ready and start the Stream Up show over here with the XSplit program and set it up over here.
Your bank is broken? Why do you say your bank is broken? I know, isn't it awesome? My full blue outfit. I'm like a blue person.
It is. It's a cool. It's a look.
If I had this like light green, I'd be like Seahawks colors.
Yeah.
This is as close to Seahawks colors.
I'm gonna take your chair just a little down here. Hang on.
Why don't you take your chair up?
This is better because I'm 6'4" and Sarah's 5'11". I look like 5'2" and her 5'7".
Thanks, 485.
Yeah. My view on Bohemian Grove, it's a really serious problem when people meet secretly. Fair bite.
I think that's a good thing that students should have to pass a civics test.
Bottom line, it is a violation of the Logan Act. All right? That's my opinion about Bohemian Grove. You're 6'9", 489 pounds? Wow. What are you, Man Mountain Mike or something?
Oh, your piggy bank broke. I'm sorry, Sunstar.
True, that too. Yeah. All right. Well, let's not talk about any kind of equestrian stuff here. Somebody's saying they're...
Are you a horse?
They're hung like a horse. I don't want to talk about equestrianism right now.
I mean, with the weight, it might make me think that you are a horse.
I save my pennies.
A smart horse that can type.
You know, I went out today looking for value today in the local town that we live in.
Yeah.
Wow, it's amazing how influential I've been. Thank you. No kidding. Guest 60805 says, "Hey, David, my son Richard has been a really big fan of your show. He does his homework on time. He wants to get involved in politics. It's great."
Wow.
That's the nicest bit of approval I've ever gotten, guest 680. Thank you.
That was just a few days ago. Wow.
Well, if we can inspire young people to study politics like I did when I was in high school, they'll probably want to go on and become a politician or something. We're going to have a lot more honest people running for politics once I become president, I assure you. We've had so many bad eggs in the batch, it's beginning to smell like a sulfur factory. It smells to high heaven. David, if human mated with a chimpanzee, well, no, this is the deal. There's a humanzee program, and I believe it's down in Florida. There's a private corporation that's doing a crossbreeding of humans and chimpanzees, but it's completely top secret, and I'm not allowed to talk about it. Any other questions? Great conversation ender when somebody says, "Hey, have you heard about that?" It's like, yeah, I'm sorry, I just can't. I have no knowledge of it for one. But somebody said it was a project that was developed to splice the human genome with the chimpanzee genome, the humanzee. No, there's nobody for sale here. Okay, let's get into this program here. It's all good. Maybe you can help me with this. Let me get it all set up so we can get the RTMP feed going. Yeah, see, I got rid of the old stream ups. I've got the one for America's Third Party queued up over here. I'll show it to you. And I'm going to start add channel. And we'll do custom or more.
What are you going to type it in?
Yeah.
But, I mean, why don't you open that over there and so that you can have that
You're right.
copy and paste it over there?
I'll do it over there. Okay, thanks. Good idea. All right, we'll do that. I just want to get back into our stream up show. I miss that. Fourth straight day of earthquakes in Connecticut. Wow. Scissor fight.
Really? In Connecticut? Why? Wow.
Well, let me take a look here. All right. Fourth straight day of earthquakes.
Plainfield, or previous earthquakes were recorded there. I guess there's a little tectonic plate activity there.
We're talking 2.2 in magnitude. I mean,
this is
it's
not a
like
members only jacket. This is another leather jacket.
It's a leather jacket Sarah got me for Christmas. I thought I'd wear it tonight on Freedom Friday. All right, so nothing to really worry about, Connecticut. What about this My Ways Switzerland story that popped up? Switzerland stuns markets by giving up on currency peg. Bowing to the inevitable, Switzerland has ditched an increasingly expensive policy to limit the export-sapping rise of the Swiss franc, a decision that propelled the currency a whopping 30% higher against the euro within minutes. Thursday's decision by the Swiss bank to end its efforts to keep the euro from trading below 1.2 francs came amid mounting speculation that the European Central Bank will next week back a big stimulus program that will put more euros in circulation, which would further dilute their value. Now, in European dollars, the euro has taken a big dive over the past 2 years in their value. And Mario Draghi is looking at expanding, purchasing $700 billion worth of bond issues to increase the number of euros, giving out more money still to the EU, and they still haven't fixed their problem. I think this spells like we're in nowhere's land with the EU diving eventually. I think the EU is going to collapse. I believe the European Union will eventually collapse. I believe the plan, the insidious plan to create a new world order, will collapse. I don't know what you guys think, but I believe that the thing that's going to succeed is the thing that's always been here, the nation-state model. For thousands of years it's existed. But for some reason these rich people, the monarchs of the past, relabeled themselves as the New World Order. And they've been trying to create these European unions, a North American union, a Chinese union, and it's just not working. They can't print money fast enough to cover their stupidity. You can't fix an economy by just printing up money. It's absurd. David, would you agree eminent domain should be banned or not allowed for its original purposes?
Only allowed for its original purposes, which was for schools, hospitals, and landowners receive the full value of the land.
I would agree. I think eminent domain should be that.
It actually still happens here in Washington State that they receive the full value of their land, or the portion of the land that they take.
I will 483, not 480, 483.
At least a taxable value.
We have a plan to actually get our country back on track as a nation, no longer controlled by foreign interests. It's a really interesting plan. It's called patriotic nationalism. Now, those are not bad words. There's nothing wrong with those words, but you listen to some people on the far left, you'd think that we were a bunch of aliens in our own country. David, what one thing would you tell a historical figure?
Tell JFK, don't go to Dallas.
Yeah, don't ride around in an open limousine and tell your security guards to back away.
Yes, you can send a link here.
Right, and we don't have a real inflationary economy. We have a stagflationary economy where jobs are not increasing necessarily, except for low-end jobs. And the salaries are not increasing, but the prices of food certainly are increasing. That's nice. I'm glad I have a healing effect on you. Call the Vatican and tell them that I've done that.
Some kind of video he wants you to see up above.
Yeah, I will. Jurassic Park is closer than you think. Really? Okay. And there's another one up there? Fairbite? Okay. Charlie Brown's Wipe? What?
So much of the news this...
I don't watch other Ebola commercials because they're all getting rave reviews and millions of hits, whereas mine only got about 300. So I put a ban on all Obama Ebola videos on YouTube. My hit counter was stopped and I've been censored. It's not Freaky Friday, it is Freedom Friday, as evinced by the words Freedom Friday, somewhere behind here. It can be fictitious in your mind. You may imagine yourself to be free. You can also believe in the flag, which we do. Naburo is coming and it's going. And I think it's time for your medication. Nurse! Okay, it's Fancy Face Friday. Well, let's be clear.
I like Common Core, even though I'm not sure the students will pass the Common Core test. But I still think it raises the bar for teachers and students.
Would it be amazing?
Which is why they probably might not pass the test.
Yeah, would it be something?
It's not a bad idea.
Would it be something if all along I was right?
What?
That we should test less and encourage kids to learn more.
Kids won't learn more on their own.
No, I mean encourage them to learn more by giving them things they're interested in, like fun science projects where they play with rockets and have fun learning how rockets work, air rockets or water rockets, or maybe learn about solar energy with solar kits and Legos, stuff that kids really are interested in, as opposed to, we're going to take a test today, kids. 4 top Secret Service executives are going to be leaving their posts. Sounds like a cleanup in the Secret Service, folks. Wow, this is news. Well, let's be clear. I think it's on the heels of Obama and his ridiculous break-in that they had with that guy running across the lawn. Let's take a look at this video picture. Okay, 4 top Secret Service executives told to leave their posts. Wow. Let me cover up Sarah fixing her hair. The Secret Service is forcing out 4 of its most senior officials, while 2 others are retiring, the biggest management shakeup at the troubled agency since its director resigned in October after a string of security lapses. The departure is going to gut much of the Secret Service upper management, which has been criticized in recent months by lawmakers and administrators who said it's fostered a culture of distrust between agency leaders and its rank and file, made poor decisions. I think none of them like Obama. The climate of distrust is people don't like Obama and therefore they leave. Look at Chuck Hagel. Chuck Hagel asked Obama the simple question, what's our strategy toward Bashar al-Assad? And that got him pretty much retired out or resigned out. Obama doesn't have a strategy toward anything. He's not even running the show. He's just taking calls from world monetary leaders that say, Mr. President, it is time to implement Plan B.
I don't think it should be necessarily wrong. I will say that, John Jay, as far as the Common Core and sometimes with math, if students can do the short form, I don't see why they shouldn't. But I think that teaching them the place value has some merit.
Okay, so many of you are completely out of touch with reality. I will never become corrupt, and I'll probably never become elected because of that. And I'm going to purge your statements. You have to show a little bit more issue-based questions in our room, okay? Barack Obama is a total hypocrite. He smoked weed, but he won't legalize it. Okay, you're a faster dolphin. Good for you.
But I do think that students that can do the short form, that should be perfectly acceptable for them.
Pluto may be hiding 2 other planets, scientists say. Okay, so Pluto may have a couple of testicles. All right, let's move on. Hey, let's talk about the reality that we are receiving too many links here tonight. You need to cut back on your links. Big asteroid to zoom to Earth.
You don't have to click on them all.
But I mean, it's just an endless supply. I just can barely keep up.
So don't worry about it. Just let them just let them just post the links. You don't have to open them all.
The UK could be the world's richest country, Osborne claims, and could overtake the US within 15 years. That's interesting. Coming out of AOL's the mouthpiece of.
No, I don't own a pair of roller skates.
Of the New World Order. Yeah, look at this. This is really amazing. UK could be the richest country. Yeah, we still have a debt to the UK. So it's not surprising to me that they're going to profit big time from their shenanigans with our monetary system. Okay. All right. I think he's a little bit out of touch with reality, though, this guy, Osborne.
I would say at your home, if you're under your home in an underground bunker that you built yourself and didn't tell anyone about.
What are you talking about?
Somebody asked, "What's the safest place to be when the New World Order hits?"
Yeah, underground bunker.
Start digging.
Yeah, Start digging right now, and in a couple of years, you'll have about a 6 by 6 square foot hole like Saddam Hussein had, and you'll be down there with your
plan for a second exit, maybe even 3.
What strong economy? Where do you live? Yeah, I don't see a strong economy where I live, and many people are saying, "Are you buying the lie of the fake economy?" No. Dow Jones has only been stronger because of a Wall Street investment strategy of borrowing money from the Federal Reserve. Unemployment is a fake statistic. The reason is, look, at 92 million people are not working out of 310 million. That's about 30%. Yet they say the unemployment rate's 5%. I mean, hello. Does anyone understand math out there? Wow.
That might be a good name for it, Green Giant.
I know that. The U.S. dollar is the world currency, in case you didn't know, and they are trying to kill other monies and other currencies, no question about it. But the EU is leaning on the dollar. Lean on me when you're losing value, and I'll print up more and give you more treasury bonds. The euro is plunging into an energy crisis. Why is this so predictable? Russia denying energy, refined gasoline to 6 countries, and now Europe is plunging into an energy crisis. Jeez, this looks like business as usual. Russia has cut off gas supplies to Ukraine. Look at that. This just came in. Thank you for that link. What is Vladimir Putin's motive by cutting off supplies, or is he running out of processed fuel? Dave, you know where your closeted stock civil defense fallout shelter? I bet you don't. I do. There is no stock civil defense shelter. It's a trick question. Where's your closest stock civil defense fallout shelter? We don't have a civil defense system in our country. Okay, let's take a look at this article. Gas prices rise in London, and Bulgaria has reached crisis point. Russia cuts gas exports to Europe by 60% today, plunging the continent into an energy crisis within hours as a dispute with Ukraine escalated. Well, we are looking at a major problem here. Croatia said it was temporarily reducing supplies to industrial customers, while Bulgaria said it had enough gas for only a few days and was in a crisis situation. So it looks like the Illuminati is triggering the Russian reaction, which will now lead us to a worldwide gas shortage. Welcome to our show, everybody, America's Third Party's Freedom Friday, where everything seems to be controlled by very few people who have tons and tons of money. I don't care about your ridiculous encounter, so please don't purge ridiculous comments. You're taking up space in the chat room. I have been to Mexico, and I have been to Canada, and they're both beautiful countries. I just talked to a lady from Mexico today when I was buying some clams that were from Mexico. Some 99 cents a pound for a thing called Venus clams. I bought them, and I couldn't get over how tough they were and salty they were. So I made a very nice clam dip. Thank you. Anybody have any questions, please go to davesupperlip.com. Thank you. They want you to believe the Illuminati dissolved in 1782. No, we just got a comment from an Illuminati person. One of the ARC leaders of the Illuminati contacted us in our chat room last night.
AIDS takes up to years to actually show up, but you might have some kind of other venereal disease.
I've never had conch. Are you referring to crank and can't spell because you're so high or something?
I don't know which one. I mean, it could just be you could just have a urinary tract infection. They call it UID.
Yeah. We're not doctors.
Not a doctor,
We're not allowed to talk about it. You look great tonight, Sarah. You're looking good.
Thanks.
You put your hair behind your back because you want to accentuate your beautiful jawline, your square jawline, which you have.
Yeah, thank you.
Sarah has the beautiful, that top model facial construction, which I think could really be nice in the White House, don't you? Why don't you just elect us because we look good? You want to do that? I don't want to pull her hair. I'm just giving her a little back rub right now.
Exactly, me to you too.
Have you heard about the overusage of sugar in processed food? We can do a lot to minimize the amount of sugar in our diet. What about low-fat, low-salt, and low-sugar entrees made in America for Americans to have a wonderful frozen entree? And I will be personally involved in the making of this product, along with Chef Ramsay. I haven't asked him yet, though. No, he has not endorsed the product. In fact, I don't think he could even help on the product because he uses too much salt, sugar, and fat in his diet. My God, man, pull yourself together. The risotto is mushy. Piss off. You know, I don't think that's important. Well, scratch what I said. But I would love to have a chicken entree, a pork special, a seafood ensemble, medley. Some sort of a beefy, weefy kind of dish that really tastes good. Hang on, I've got to wipe my upper lip. Thank you. Some people say, David, is your face plastic? Because it seems to be. Well,
yeah, rubber or something.
It's actually not. It's silicone. And it was developed at the Lawrence Livermore Laboratory when my original prototype was constructed. I am the first audio-animatrized robotic presidential candidate, and I'd like to welcome you to the show we call Freedom Friday. I better get started and get this thing going.
Okay, sounds good. Do you even mind missing advertisements and being trolled?
I'm not worried about advertising. We're not doing this for personal gratification. I'm doing it only so that somebody can cut and paste horrible things in my chat room. Believe me, these entrees will replace all the lobsters they're buying right now. That's the point. They're going to replace all the lobsters. You know, many people don't know that Mexicans, illegal aliens, are coming into our cities and buying lobster with their food stamps. Well, I'm going to minimize the amount of beef and chicken and beef byproducts with hormones in them when we get behind the farming process. These will be basically food products that made naturally in a non-GMO fashion.
Probably not 903. I eat some Pacific seafood.
I definitely took a chance on the clams today. You know me, I hardly ever spend money, right?
Yeah.
I thought this lady was so nice, and she looked like she was Spanish. And I said, "Are you from Mexico?" And she says, "Yes, I'm from Jalisco." And basically, I was quite shocked that I'm going to revolutionize the USA healthcare system. Yes, UK, I am. That's one of my goals, is to provide people a basic healthcare package with our mobile medical unit, which is a fantastic solution if you haven't heard about it. I'm going to have mobile medical units in every city in America by the end of 2017. We're going to have these units available for people of low income so that it will no longer charge you of high income lots and lots of money. So these units, like this one here in Minnesota, could easily help you and your family if you have low income. But if you have a lot of income, you can go to the ER and you won't have Mexicans and homeless people standing there going, "Oh, I don't get any free money here." From one to one, David, to another. How do you feel about Obama wanting to allow illegals the same benefits as the U.S. citizens? David Sponheim, I'm offended by everything Obama said. He seems to not care about anything other than his own personal gain. Don't communicate with other chatters here. This is strictly for people talking to me. If you want to IM Glenn's room, go ahead and do that, but it's not something I do here. Okay? Thanks. Obama's going to send Senate Democrats something. Wow. You notice how it's heating up here? The entire chat has just gotten really wild.
It's probably because you have things that are still loading. I mean, there's that one over there that says connecting, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like still loading.
Okay, I got the Europe plunged into energy crisis. We covered that one already. We talked about the 4 top secrets service agents that are going to be leaving their posts. Obama's firing everybody that disagrees with him. This looks like a classic picture, doesn't it? Obama just standing there, ignoring everybody around him, ignoring anyone who actually has an opinion, especially the people guarding him, and just floating off into space and getting into his beast. Why would I dye my hair black? That's absurd. Well, I'm so glad we've got guest chat, but you've got to say something other than negative things demoralizing us. GMOs are everywhere, I know, and Obama's done nothing to stop that. And please stop talking about this thing about a lip. I mean, I've got a very nice, attractive lip, and you know, when you come in here and try to demoralize me, claiming my lip isn't nice, you're just glad, and I'm glad that I don't take this too serious with you doing that. Otherwise, I would probably have you under house arrest. Don't give me a lot of lip, okay? I've got a stiff upper lip. A stiff upper lip is significant because I have part English blood. Have you ever heard of a person with a stiff upper lip?
Yeah, why don't you do that?
Well, I do, but then they just disappear. I like to hear what they have to say, Sarah.
Do you like to hear it? Then why clear it?
Well, it just takes up time for me to, ban all these ridiculous people.
Yeah, why? I mean, I already banned them.
Oh, thank you. All right. Welcome to the show,
Shrek.
everybody.
Hi, Shrek.
I secretly like crumpets, yeah. I think the Arab-Israeli conflict will never, ever end. However, I believe that we can build a long-term solution to the problem. I'm thinking of a weapons-free safe zone in the middle of the Sinai Peninsula, where people can gather and patch their sectarian hatred for each other by playing games and getting on rides. Disneyland could operate this entire operation. It could be a safe haven for people to gather and share their anger and hatred and try to minimize that. Education is one way to stop this incredible hatred that people have for each other. They had a pilot program in Palestine or in the Gaza Strip where Palestinian kids would meet with Israeli kids and learn together in a similar atmosphere. And it worked so well that they were thinking maybe re-education would really help. It's like the concept of kids getting along. It's amazing how kids don't judge each other based on sectarian hatred. But for some reason, adults instill this in the kids, and then they begin hating each other at a certain age. Kids can be very cruel, but
sometimes.
It's a program that actually worked really well, and I'm sure that it could actually be beneficial in a safe zone. So imagine an area in the Sinai Peninsula, which is like the size of Arizona, with a desalination pipeline that brings seawater right in from the Mediterranean and produces desalinated water, so it's all fresh water. This is an area that could actually provide fresh water to the people of Gaza Strip, and currently they are facing a tremendous amount of drought and brackish water. This ocean pipeline project would be the first step in creating détente in the region, and it would power all around the pipeline would be villages and meeting areas and convention areas where people could hang out and come from all parts to share in a weapons-free safe zone. So imagine the pipeline with a weapons-free safe zone next to it, which would be almost like a Mecca, if you will, right above the pipeline. And this is a place to solve our problems internationally. I am aware that 5-year-old Palestinian children are taught to hate Jews. I know. I'm fully aware of what the Hamas group and Fatah and the Islamic jihadists are doing. I'm fully aware of what that, and that's something we can't control. But if we had a safe zone, right smack in the middle of the Sinai Peninsula or right near the edge, it would be a buffer zone for the Palestinian people to share with Egyptians, everyone. Israelis could meet there.
I don't know Tim Iman.
I've never met Tim Iman, and if you like him, tell him about what we're doing here. It's interesting the word Tim Iman comes up because the lady that interviewed me in my local election when I had all my signs stolen, and she could care less. The lady from Cairo TV, Lee Stoll, that basically to get a 10-minute interview with me, she said that I would be like Tim Iman. They'd come by and interview me once in a while and I could share my ideas. She completely deceived me. She said, oh yeah, like Tim Iman, we interview him once a year. It's like, oh really? She never played my video. She never allowed me to defend myself. All the accusations they use, these cheaters. She's a U.S. reporter from Cairo TV. If you need to write her and ask her why, her name is Lee Stoll and she's at Cairo TV. KIROTV.com.
You need some coffee?
No, I'm just going to try to get into this thing real quick here.
Oh, good. You've read the Quran, not the Bible. You said the Quran saved your life once? Okay. Even though you don't believe it per se, but it helped you through a difficult time in your life? You were feeling down or something?
David, why is it somebody else's fault and not yours? Because I've done nothing wrong. How about that? I did nothing wrong, so it's going to be somebody else's fault since I did nothing wrong.
David's never...
I mean, I've admitted to doing things wrong in my life, but it's not a common occurrence because I'm actually a perfectionist. When you know a few FBI DEA agents that have like 10 5-gallon jugs filled with bullets, I don't. Do you know those, Jimmy? I'm not Mr. Perfect. And you're not Mr. Perfect either because you can't spell. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm a guy who strives for a certain level of perfection in my life. Yeah, I do. I have a clean house. I don't like dirt. I don't like scum. I don't like lots of piles of hair bunnies. So I clean the house, okay? And I do a good job. Sarah doesn't have to worry about hair bunnies or dust, and she lives in a nice house, and she's a happy person. It doesn't have to be a rich house or an expensive house, as long as it's a clean house.
Yeah.
So that's something really simple, all right? You can start with your life right now and clean your room.
Or just clean off your desk. Or just pick up one piece of trash and put it in the trash can.
I retired, 4 years ago when the business climate for my vendors and my clients disappeared. In the fake economy we live today, I suppose I could go around town and con a few people into buying some advertising for a short term, but I'm not a con artist. I did it a good time. I decided, hey, I've had enough of this. The market economy has declined. The merchant economy is in the dumpster. I have a video to show you. A firm has ruined our country. Okay, Sharknado. I was a victim of affirmative action. I'd love to share actual footage of a championship debate. Wow, Sharknado, thank you. This is cool. I can't wait to get involved in that discussion, but right now, let's talk about how our privacy is just disappearing. Does anybody care in the room here that the NSA is now officially watching everything, everywhere? Are we all just going to lay down and bend over and grease up and grab our ankles and say, oh, it's okay? Of course I'm ready for martial law. I stockpiled my cans of sardines and I'm ready to go. Yeah, the NSA, Mr. Norton, they definitely are watching you. Does anybody care? White guilt and affirmative action are definitely destroying our educational system, I agree. Not McNorton, it's Mr. Norton. Okay, whatever. Do you think the NSA should get out of your personal business and not store all of your information or have fusion centers with Department of Homeland Security?
Why do you need people to join you? You don't want to be all alone? Afraid of being lonely?
Yeah, why would you want to recruit people to join you?
You think it's safe to have the people with you, let people know about your weapons and ammo?
Is it safe?
A lot of people that are gun owners have it turned against them, unfortunately. That's just
Okay, Shrek86 said something very interesting. He said, I've had my underground shelter for 7 years. It used to be a bomb shelter, but I converted it. Wow.
Nice.
Cool, Shrek. Nice job, man. So a lot of you are already prepping for a coming apocalypse. The NSA seems to be breathing down everybody's butt. Well, I'm concerned about that too, Sharknado. I'm not going to drift into the issue of affirmative action right now, but I welcome your concerns for sure. I was a victim of affirmative action, me personally, a direct victim. But it's not like I'm going to ignore the problem. I'm going to actually increase the amount of college education grants, double the size Pell Grant program, so that it's available to all people of all different races, not just blacks or Hispanics or Asians. Okay, ain't nothing but a hound dog. Well, Concordia, isn't it amazing? World War III does seem to be on the mind of the elitists. They seem to want to push World War III no matter what. That is their agenda. They want to have a world war. Why? I don't know. And my father, before he passed on, said, David, war is obsolete. And he'd fought in World War II and was one of the guys that won the war. He thought he did his job and the nuclear parity around the world would stop the war. But unfortunately, he didn't factor one little thing into the scenario. And I can't tell you how immense this little thing is. Are you ready for this little thing that we have in the mix? Here it is. There it is. The little thing that stands in the way of our peace and tranquility here in America. A man who's obviously put his life dedication toward more war. In fact, in 1976, he introduced the concept of low-intensity conflict. The concept of low-intensity conflict has been with us for a long, long time now. The concept of preventative or preemptive strikes, that was his idea too. George W. Bush just implemented it. They're just puppets. The presidents are just puppets. That's the guy you got to worry about, the globalists. The people that want to control the world and literally could care less about the outcome because he's an old man. What does he care? You know, even with blood transfusions and liver replacements, he could care less. He knows that his days are numbered. See, the problem is the people who are living don't seem to care about the future because they think they're going to die.
I agree with you, John.
We need more small business loans. John Jay, this is a concept that I'm going to bring into the room, which I think is revolutionary. I'm going to open up an infrastructure bank when I become president, and the infrastructure bank will offer 2% loans to U.S. citizens, U.S. businesses hiring U.S. citizens. Okay? And that is going to be tied to a living wage in America. So we're going to make sure we have a living wage for all citizens who work in companies that get the 2% loans. This is a tremendous solution. It's a bypass to the existing effort to create a minimum wage agreement between the Democrats and Republicans. This bypasses all of that. And I will make this possible when I'm president, even if it has to go through the executive branch and my oversight of the Exchange Stabilization Fund. But the concept is pretty simple. It employs U.S. citizens, it gets people working at a living wage, and everybody would love a 2% loan. Citizens would dig it. I can dig it, you can dig it, we can dig it. I do believe the U.S. dollar is going to take a big dive. I'm surprised how long it has been taking. So long that it has caused our nation to basically quiver with no real response, structural changes in our economy. We're just sitting here quivering in stagflation land. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get into here and yeah, see, I've got all these different things. I was going to go for this one, but if we can do it here, if I can get into the chat room, that might be the way to go. You know? Because that may be the best one we could use on this one. So let's see if I get the settings going here. Go to my channels.
I thought you were there.
This is where I have to be. Okay. I'll grab the stream key. Thank you for the suggestion you made earlier. This would have been a total hassle if I had done it on another computer.
I know. I was like,
what are you doing? Okay. Adding channel.
you used to do voiceovers? Okay. You've been waiting for that bank holiday about 6 years now.
Wow.
Yes, I should smile more. Sometimes I smile at the wrong times.
I'm not sure if there's an ad broadcast, ad channel, custom. There it is, custom RTMP. Okay, where do I put the, right there? This is where I put the URL?
Yeah.
Okay. And then,
I think the other one, the stream key, you put in the stream name, I think.
okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you, Queers and Steers. Sarah and David are a wonderful couple. We need another Teddy Roosevelt, you think?
We need a strong president. I'm more of an Andrew Jackson style president. if I were to characterize myself, it would be more of a really strong, shoot from the hip kind of guy. Tell it like it is. I'm also the buck stops here kind of guy too, like Harry S. Truman. Frankly, I think Obama and the New World Order didn't implement as fast as the evil industrialists wanted it to implement. I might be a George Washington type. I've never served any time in war, and George Washington was a war hero. So it'd be hard for me to characterize myself as that guy.
It's a video about something about Obama, Joe Biden probably making one of his gaffes.
Okay, Joe Biden doing another gaffe. Let's take a look.
We do have new ideas on our website.
Yeah, our website is
americasthirdparty.com. Right off the top of my head.
Hi, Emily. How are you? Hope you have a big fence.
Oh, this is the thing that really a lot of people were freaked out. Let's take a look. Somebody did the detailed work to create the video of the video. Let's take a look at this.
We can't really take a look at that.
Why not?
There's a minor in the video.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, let's just look at Joe Biden's head, okay?
Okay.
And you get in the outside, and you come over here, baby. You can watch Dad.
Oh, we can't show any pictures of it.
You two girls stand right in the front between your grandma and me. Come on, you jump in here.
He keeps moving around in the video.
Joe, you come right on this side of Mom. You come over here. That's it.
I got him.
Keep going. You're standing right next to me. There you go. The kids can stay right in the front.
Okay, no kids in the picture.
You guys get right in the middle. Come on. There you go. Okay. Raise your right hand. And you come in here.
It makes it very difficult to do this when I can't put a kid in the picture.
You get here.
I know you can't do this.
Okay, you got it. Hey, baby, how are you? Hi, Hallie. Will you two girls come over on my side here? You get right between us, okay?
That is so bizarre.
Yeah, isn't it? Thank you so much for that link.
That is a very interesting link. Very interesting video, I will say that.
And I saw it in real time, and I noticed how
we
weird
saw
it was.
One.
Well, that's another one?
These are multiple ones. It's like every time a new person comes with the children,
he wants to get near the kids.
Yes, he always like, here, kid, come stand by me. Hi, kid, come stand by me.
Okay,
Hi, kid, come stand. Every single kid.
A lot of people are pretty seriously concerned that Joe Biden is one of those pedos. Yeah. Well, Sarah's not laughing or smiling.
Laughing or smiling.
There was a time when I thought that Joe Biden and I looked alike. We had the same facial features. I thought maybe that I could be his ingenue or something. Hello, little girl. How are you? What's your name? Okay, I don't think so. I don't want to be associated with Joe Biden anymore, okay? He's flamboyant, that's for sure, but don't in any way say, David, you look like Joe Biden, okay? I didn't want to compare myself to that guy, no. Any other questions? Let's move on.
That is really interesting. That was a very interesting video about Biden.
You want to see an actual debate, top orators in action due to affirmative action? Let's take a look. This is a debate, a top scholarship debate going on. And she's over 18, I believe.
Trauma enough, the insight, the trauma representation, the actions to the black child, the devouring, and identifying with the stories and images the white culture brought up, the think and act subjectively like a white man, the black man.
So where do you go from there? When you start preparing for a national competition, once you know the topic, what's next?
Well, you do a lot of research. So the way the status quo works is through whiteness allowing, forcing other bodies to tell narrations of whiteness and the violences that whiteness does. We say that is the link that we will go for.
In order to prepare for it, because there are several different tournaments, and so being able to transition through each tournament.
Capture and separate from exposure to cultural representation of the white world, the cultural move the white world into the child eye zone, and
able to respond to opponents' arguments.
On sexual trauma as a way of grounding its racist cultural fantasy, the cultural traffic and images of the black man's photogenic objects.
So just a lot of preparation.
Disfigured lynch and trauma enough, the insight, the trauma representation, the actions to the black child, devouring and identifying with the stories and images of the white culture.
Reading of articles and books and
they only
definitely recreate what it means to be an authentic nigga, because we are not allowed to read. We are not allowed to read certain things or speak in.
What are they debating anyway? Does anybody know?
What the heck?
I didn't realize the N-word was in that, folks. For some of you who are offended by the N-word, as I am, please understand
so
that I didn't
weird.
had no foreknowledge of this foreplay before the foreknowledge happened. They're debating presidential powers. Wow, capital gain.
No way.
I thought it was a rap. It was racist rhetoric. It sure sounds like it. Blacks against whites. I don't want to create a bigger divide. This is turning into a serious problem. Obama has not united the races. I think he served to divide the races. He clearly is a classic demagogue. Now, what is a demagogue? A person who uses race to their advantage, and that would be him. I don't think there's a race war coming, Jimmy. I think that's exactly what the elitists want. That's why they put a black, illegal alien Muslim homosexual in the presidency. I just whistled when I said homosexual. I crack myself up all the time. Someone said, David, you look tired. Well, I haven't had my third cup of coffee. In fact, I got to go make another pot. Let me give you, Sarah, my best choice for vice president, everybody. The future president of the United States as well. Our first female president coming up in 2024. I give you Sarah Hart. Thank you. I'll be right back. And in the meantime, I'm going to add... Oh yeah, we're broadcasting. Let me get a camera over here. That'll be good. You'll get a side picture over at StreamUp of our show. Cool. We'll see if we're broadcasting over here now. So that's what's weird. See, I went there and I'm not seeing it. See it? Yet I'm broadcasting.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. Oh, are you sure you went to a different channel? Maybe, I don't know.
No,
or maybe it's because you're using XSplit over here and then trying to use XSplit over there. That could be a problem.
No, there's no. I'm allowed to use. I have 5 licenses I can use.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find it.
America's, I don't know. Do you think there's a religious uprising of poor people coming?
There it is.
That could be
It's an
it.
America's Third Party. Okay, good.
Your cousin who's okay.
There is
That happens, David Spoon.
a lot of you have got to understand. A lot of this is propaganda. The anti-terrorism propaganda you're getting against ISIS right now, that's coming from very weird places in our government. All right? David, I have a cousin who's a gay and a flamer. He dresses like a girl and wears, he's paying for it. He has HIV. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that. ISIS is clearly some sort of a CIA proposition that they put together. Clearly. So don't be fooled. We're not heading toward a race war. We're not heading toward anything other than a class separation of the highest degree, where the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer, okay? That's what's really happening in America. Let's not kid ourselves, okay? Let's be real here. Face the truth. We are facing an incredible separation of wealth, and nobody is doing anything to stop it. A month ago, Janet Yellen, the chair of the Federal Reserve, said that we've got a terrible separation of wealth in America, but she hasn't done anything to remedy the problem. Not one single dollar has gone out to average people from the Federal Reserve printing of $16 trillion. I did a close scrutiny of what has gone on over the past 6 or 7 years. Unbelievable printing of capital. 16 trillion overall, loaned around the world to big, huge, too big to fail companies to stay going even though they're going nowhere, leaving us, the American people, with nothing. No benefits, no dollars, nothing. If you haven't come to the conclusion the two parties have screwed you over by now, then I will continue to try to help convince you over the next hour and a half, okay? All right, Sarah, I'm going to leave you the show. I'm going to go make some coffee. Good luck talking and interacting in a casual manner with these folks, okay?
Thank you.
And by the way, I'm not a robot, in case you were wondering.
That
was a joke.
Not a robot.
I am not a robot, in case you are wondering.
Thank you. You don't think assets can be frozen when those assets are in the form of opium and gems? Hi, how are you? I'm pretty good. How are you, Ronnie? I'm glad it's there's definitely no school on Monday. It's Martin Luther King Day. What are you going to do for this 3-day weekend, or do you have a 3-day weekend? No, I definitely do not have the same stance as David on everything. I mean, there's a lot that I agree with, but there's also a whole lot that I don't. That's what I would say, Vorpal White. We have disagreements, yes. But I just say, I try to respect him and just let him have his beliefs and, not really worry about it. Yeah, same opinions on everything must be boring. I think it will take a whole lot of work to make it happen, Ivan. Will I ever become a Sponheim? I don't know. 5-color patch, maybe. I am a skeptic. I'm definitely a skeptic. Supreme Court is going to decide marriage rights for gay couples nationwide. Iowa is hosting one of 9 GOP-sponsored presidential debates. One is going to be in Iowa in January 2016. There's a crime couple spotted in Florida, 2 teenage sweethearts, have blazed a trail of crime across the South. They have a path of a string of stolen vehicles, pilfered checks, and they've been spotted in Florida. Yes, I agree, Vorpal White. Let David become a hurt. So one of the world's safest investments, the Swiss franc, swung wildly this week after the central bank in Switzerland announced that it would scrap its policy of limiting the rise of the currency. So they rose a whole lot. And they say consumer prices barely rise. The slow pace of inflation means Americans are seeing less erosion in what their wages will buy. It's so ridiculous. But it's also a warning that the economy remains in far from good health. They want consumer prices to rise? Yes, I could definitely hold my own in a VP debate with a Democrat, and I would not be huffing and puffing and trying to talk super rapidly. I would be talking to the American people so they could understand me. It's pretty obvious, I guess, Nate. Who do you want to IMU, Shrek? Have I done a test run of signatures for David to test his running? Or is that not possible? It's possible, I mean, but David's already declared, so instead of testing the waters, he's already declared. But it would be a good idea for you guys to go out and try to get signatures in advance. And then go and get those same people to sign again. That would be a good idea if you're right. But you can already start collecting signatures in Iowa. Who are you talking to, Nancy Grace? Five reasons to play Skyrim again. Okay. What's your thoughts on our dated power grid and transportation system? I think that we need to lay fiber optic and throughout the country, and our transportation, and redo our roads, repave our roads throughout the nation. And those two can happen simultaneously. I think it would be great to invest in high-speed rail. The other thing I also think is that when we lay the fiber optic throughout the country, I think it would be good to actually put Wi-Fi ports in as many locations as we can, so that we provide free, and I think that could be that fiber optic line could be owned by the government, and then we could have free Wi-Fi for a lot of people, which would put the ISPs out of business. Sorry, ISPs, but once you invest in the infrastructure, then we have to invest in the infrastructure, really, and then keep it up. David doesn't want to spend on high-speed rail. He'd rather invest in like a maglev system or something like that. Birmingham, no claim apology. Do I want to read that, UK? Yeah, that's what I would. What, you think that would be one step closer to North Korea? Well, why can't we have both, Hollywood? Subsidize it for, not subsidize. The thing I don't like about subsidies is it just pays the private sector, and I do not like paying the private sector. You think David is data? I know now. Well, Google had an issue with that Kool-Aid anthrax, and I hope that Google wins and is able to lay fiber optic line. Would I like to debate Rick Santorum?
No, he's too socially conservative.
I would wipe him up in a debate.
I just think his socially conservative
But mainly
values
because we totally disagree on everything.
They're obtrusive, his socially conservative values. I don't mind people having socially conservative values, but I don't think it's a realm of politics to insist upon school prayer. I really don't. I think it's spiritual. Why would politics breach separation of church and state?
Well, I think it would work on the East Coast, UK 10. But on the East Coast it would work, but in the middle of the country, you're right, planes are better. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, fair bite. Even though people, go to churches to try to have some kind of social life, I guess. I'm saying I do, I'm just saying other people do. Yes, that's what David would like. David Sponheim. Paul McCartney is rumored to headline Firefly. UK and France have the undersea super fast train network. That's pretty cool. Yeah. I think we should have some super fast trains, but not too many. Oh, very cool. Thanks, Five Color Patch. It's like, what's that? Very cool. Thanks for putting it in your window. I'm gonna go down a little bit. Pay for 120 London bankers at Goldman Sachs rises to £2.6 million. Wow. Dish TV is suing Fox for having a DVR that lets or Fox is suing Dish. I don't know. There's a lawsuit going on between those two because their DVR lets its customers skip commercials when streaming recorded television shows. Well, that's ridiculous. Fox would be like, no, you have to show our commercials.
Yeah, well, they're all stipulating that, and there's been a lot of trade agreements that are very, right now, tenuous. CBS has been fighting for their funding from cable companies, and they're just recently allowing the CBS feed to enter cable companies like Comcast. This is not going to shock you folks. You know how I said the rich were getting richer and the poor were getting poorer? Pay for 120 London bankers at Goldman Sachs rises £2.6 million. That's like $4 million. They've each received more than $370,000 on average in remuneration for 120 executives. It's crazy. Okay, senators speak to capitalize on Nebraska wind energy. Nebraska's putting together proposals for wind energy production, offering tax incentives, and the senators are going to speak about that in Lincoln, Nebraska. Wow, great. I'm a little concerned about.
It's not for this, I think for someone else.
That's somebody else's link. Okay, I'm going to bring up a little. I'm still waiting for my coffee to brew, so I'm going to bring up a little thing right now on brutality. How many of you have been approached by a police officer like this?
Watch this.
Where are you guys going from here?
What was the problem? Why did you pull me over?
Why did I pull you over? Because we have a lot of problem with fraud rental cars in here. And I see you guys all split when I come into the lot, the way you guys were parked. So I just want to make sure that it was a legit rental. No.
Oh, okay.
No, you're fine.
Okay. So I'm free to go, right?
Yeah, you're free to go.
Okay, thank you.
All right, where are you guys heading?
I'm being detained or I'm free to go?
No, I'm asking you a question, but you can be pulled out of the car and I can search it if you really want.
How is that?
Any way I want. Doesn't mean I can use what I find, but I can do it. So you want to do that? You want to play that game, a little hard ass, or you want to go back to Richmond?
All I'm saying is...
Don't talk shit,
I'm not talking shit.
You guys are all over there, a bunch of tatted up gangsters and everything, hanging out in the
I'm not a gangster.
Yeah, but you're all tatted up. You're sitting there.
My son's name? My son's name?
You can't even park the...
So, okay, so what did that guy do wrong other than say he's free to go, and then she starts saying, where are you going? I'm going, let me write it all down, ma'am. And, you know, when you approach a police officer, the best way to do is to avoid hassle is to be nice, okay? So his tone was, but she was way out of line, man. She was on a total power trip, and so many cops are. Now, this problem in New York has really gotten wild. The union leader of the cops in New York, of the Benevolent Police Benevolence Association, the chief of this union is now not greedy enough for the cops. They want him out. They want more money, $100,000 a year in benefits and all this, and they turn their back on de Blasio, Mayor de Blasio, and the recent thing. They want more money, and they're willing to kick the old union leader out, that's how greedy they are. So what's going on with all these cops getting so greedy? And you know, frankly, the police have not been enforcing the law as heavily in New York recently, and people are very happy.
Yeah, I'm sure he said he was on Stream Up. That's because it was on another channel. Hopefully it'll update to XSplit.
I'm going to go ahead and reintroduce my new mic into this. I have another mic right here. I'll add it to it. It's just a microphone away. See that? This is the solution to that, Meow TV.
We'll try it, but it could be getting fan noise.
Yeah, I think it'll be okay.
You need to...
Oh, it's barely not on its lift, or it is on its lift. Here, hang on.
I don't know.
Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
Oh, because you guys don't in the UK don't have guns.
1, 2, 3.
Would you feel better if you had a gun since the officers have guns?
Let me go off and make sure my mic settings are good on this, but it should be picking up. Okay, 1, 2, 3. It's not picking up any mic.
Noise is louder. Okay.
The other option is to open up another camera. Let me try that. That's a different camera. That's the Amber cam. This is the other one. Okay, excuse us. We're having a little technical difficulty with one of our streaming sites. Stream Up.
Technical fun for everyone.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Ah, yes. Thank you. Okay, any other questions? David Cops bust Coke dealers. YouTube. Coke prank on cops. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's a Coca-Cola prank. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I'd like to sit back and laugh, but I can see what you guys are all doing with your time, Nancy. Many of you trying to avoid reality. I get that. Check, Mike. Mike. It's a lame prank, yeah. All right. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2.
Yeah, he knows he closed the show. He was trying to restart it, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in there and get my status going here.
You have to do streaming.
Go to general settings. All right.
I don't think.
Let me put the mic, make the mic over there so it's a little bit remote, and then getting rid of this mic completely. But I'll leave it in just in case. Okay. Yeah, we used to do Stream Up all the time on our show, and we had a lot of more interaction, and we looked forward to it. John Kerry's erotic hug to get. I didn't realize there was an erotic hug too. Oh, look at this, Sarah. John Kerry's got a love affair going on, I think. What's going on here? Bless you, Amber. Look at this, folks. What do you think? What's going on here?
I don't know. Sometimes if you snap the camera at just the right angle when someone's drawing away, it's like if I were right here with you.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Just the right angle.
See that? We almost, you saw the angle? Sarah just did that example just now. Yeah, they were just embracing and they were separating. It was a flash camera. Nothing to worry about. But I do want to copy that. Is John Kerry going to run for president too? Anyone know?
John Kerry?
Yeah, so many people want to run for president now. Jim Carrey, I think, wants to run.
Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
Well, he said, hey, if David Sponheim could run, I can run.
I know, yeah. And Jim Carrey has a lot more money than I'll ever have, that's for sure. Not that I want money. But he's got all those bipolar issues he's got to deal with, medication and whatnot. Must not be fun not being able to excite yourself, except through Viagra because you're on antipsychotic medication. Some of you are taking some antipsychotic medication and are having erectile dysfunction. What do you mean John Kerry has no personality? There'll be help in our time. Help is on the way. That's a lot of personality. Help is on the way. John Edwards, I don't think is running. Except at the bank, he's restarted his business out there. South Carolina? Or is it Atlanta, Georgia? I'm not sure. What is antipsychotic medication? Well, if you don't have it, you don't need to know. Okay? It's medication that keeps people from having hallucinations. And, you could be watching our channel and all of a sudden your service dog starts barking. That's why Ed hasn't been in lately, because he probably had an episode and they took him down to a local mental hospital and he's probably been detoxing. I'm John Kerry and I'm reporting for Judy. Ed is in the FEMA camp, yeah. They hauled him in, I'm sure. But Ed might have had a little episodic breakdown. We have a regular chatter, folks, who comes into our show. And he's pretty interesting insofar as he lives on the street in the Midwest, without giving any more details. Well, everyone knows he lives in somewhere near New Mexico. Anyway, or Arizona or something. Here's a picture of Ed. And I care about the homeless problem in America. It's not something I'm just shirking. So I'm thinking we can take advantage of all the Sears and the closing stores of Sears, and the government could buy them all up in 2017 when I become president. And those Sears, all those empty stores that nobody's going to ever fill, could all be turned into homeless centers. There's a guy in Texas who's developing modules that go inside, modular construction that goes inside and creates small apartments out of leased buildings. No, I don't want to expand the government. I want to provide them a place to sleep. Do you not care about Ed and him living on the street? Now, he's chosen to be homeless. Yeah, many people want to live on the street, but if they're given an option, they're always looking for a warm place to stay. Wouldn't you be? Yeah, Kmart, it would be a perfect solution. Instead of Kmart, it could be like a homeless mart, or
Homeless mart.
Yeah, or bag mart, bag person mart. I'm not expanding government. I'm trying to solve the problem of homelessness. Are you one of those heartless neocons that thinks homeless people should be eradicated? Most homeless can and are really great, intelligent people. A lot are amazing, even after what they've endured. Yes, Fairbite, I know. That's why I care about homelessness. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it was in my car. I had it down there at the local town. I'll go get it for you. A rabbi is calling Obama an idiot? Well, Obama is an idiot. How is that a news story? Shabbat Night Live. Are we taking clips from people on random websites?
Wilder. You know, a crazy dog that's been inbred that you gotta put the thing down before he kills somebody. And you don't want to do that. That is the last resort on planet Earth. It's not someone who strays from the faith. That's the Muslims, you idiot. That's where you get it from. And I'm calling Obama an idiot because it's from the word idios, which is one's own interpretation. Idios epilusis. Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming back to it is written.
Idios epilusis. Are you looking this up? Idios epilusis. No, the Whitby News Times basically got rid of me in their mind. They think I'm a done deal. I have no need to be interviewed again. And I don't want to be interviewed, by the way. Businessman says, do you agree? Well, what did you say, businessman? That Obama's an idiot? Yes, of course he's an idiot. Hey, Dave. What's your take on the government not wanting to add a tax to gas? Now the prices are low, but now there's wanting to add a tax, but now there's... Yeah. Little talk of it being a diminishing resource. Yeah, isn't that interesting? Very few people are talking about it being a diminishing resource. Okay, Meow TV, what do you think? Zooming is, oh my God, the echo. Oh my God, the echo. How about this? Is this better? Two other windows are not muted. Okay. How's this? I'm just checking my audio over here. You know, I don't believe I can agree with the Pope's recent comments because I haven't read them. Is an idiot a bit harsh and childish? No. Barack Obama was the first to call other people racist, wasn't he? Okay, any other questions? Dave, it's said that sad Ed is homeless. No one deserves to be homeless. Okay. Do you just want to forget about Ed? Like so many left, right? Actually, the Democrats don't care about Ed either. What am I saying? I haven't heard Barack Obama mention homelessness in the past, well, ever. Well, make no mistake about it. Michelle and I are going to be homeless once the truth comes out about my illegality. Well, that could be true. He could have all of his personal income garnished. He could be serving an extended tour at the Supermax facility when he graduates. After he destroys our nation, we'll see if we can prosecute him. Governor Brownback wants to raise taxes on cigarettes and liquor. A lot of people, both left and right, want to raise taxes all of a sudden. That's because they have crony salaries. They want to keep replicating their crony salaries, and they all want to make more money. Who is Christopher? That's a person who was on our show at one time as a guest speaker online and ended up not really telling us the truth about his military background, and we pulled him off the show. But I didn't drive all the way out to Connecticut, waste an entire trip to take a picture with the guy, to not use something out of that summer of 2010. Let's show you a picture, anomaly picture. See that picture right there? That is the picture I'm using on my new poster. That is the same picture. It's a plan I put together to actually build a voter revolt in America. And I put it right there on my posters. Here's a couple posters. Join the voter revolt. And also, I put it on this poster, which is a little easier to print. You can get this poster right now online. But I liked it so much that, I liked it so much that I made multiple posters out of it. Isn't that great? Someone else made this poster, which is under the picture. I hope you're all enjoying that. Yeah, you can download this right now at davidsponheim.com and take it to a local printer. Oh, they killed Chris Kyle and are now profiting off him while enraging the Muslim world. I know, businessman. It's a terrible thing. You know, this guy that killed Chris Kyle, he looks so out of the question. What's your serious question, Fairbyte? Will you hold Bush accountable for war crimes? I'm going to hold Bush and Obama accountable for war crimes. I'm opening up a third independent party simply because the two parties won't question neither Bush nor Obama on the terrible rendition and torture that's been going on. I mean, look at that recent reveal by Dianne Feinstein.
This Washington State marijuana farm is humming.
Check this out.
Pioneer Production and Processing outside of Seattle produces 25 pounds of the drug every 10 days. But for now, that may be too much marijuana.
There's a price war out there.
When the legal marijuana market opened 6 months ago, stores routinely closed because there wasn't enough inventory. Right. Now there's a bottleneck of pot waiting to be sold.
Right.
We're already seeing people making, hard moves to figure out one way or another how to survive in this.
Producers say the slow openings of retail stores at the big fall harvest have flooded the system. And with about 300 growers to the less than 100 stores open statewide, much of the 31,000 pounds harvested sit in warehouses.
People fail in business all the time. Not that we want to see anybody fail. That just is the reality of economics.
Typical. People fail in business all the time. We don't want to see people fail, but they're going to fail all the time. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's pretty sad, isn't it? That this is the reality, that the Democrats don't know how to do anything with marijuana. They can't price it up right. They can't get the THC count to go up right. I mean, why do you think people buy marijuana, you stupid Democrats? I know, Concordia, thank you. Concordia wants to say he loves me. Thank you, too. Or she loves me. I don't even know if you're male or female. Hello, President Dave. Hello, Delicate Snail. Happy Friday. And guys who worked your butt off all week long, ladies and gentlemen who worked your butt off, thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Sarah, for working your butt off all week long. You did a good job bringing in the bacon for your family. Thank you, Shrek, for helping your family and pursuing your dream, too, because you've always wanted to be a big bacon earner. Many of you have a goal to actually meet a certain target, and I think that's a noble thing to do in life. Unfortunately, I was never swept up in the world of materialistic gain. And because of that, I'm not really that ambitious in a financial way. I don't know how to describe it. I wouldn't go out and cheat somebody just to make a few bucks. I don't know. I toggled my life down in a different way. I built a plan to cut back on my expenses. And that's how I survive very well. I live on around $10 a day, which is almost impossible for some people to believe. But I don't have kids, guys, and I own my own house, so don't try to do that unless you can do it. The seawater pipeline tea was only $13 because I think there's a shipping charge, and we don't make any money to speak of on that site. It's just to promote our t-shirts. We're not expecting to make revenue out of Spreadshirt. It's not something with the markup and the fact that they have to go through the process of producing the shirt and delivering it. It's not like I'm going to try to screw you guys out of some money. So I'm not that into money. Consequently, we suffered quite a bit with lack of donations. But that doesn't stop me, because the whole basis of what we're doing is entirely built off of this concept of average people talking about us everywhere they can. Not about making money, not about buying TV time. If we could buy TV time, which we can do, and we've done it a few times, I should be on TV. Thank you, Potato Tooth. I have lots of commercials that I could throw out there, and it is an awesome jacket. But I am not about to waste your dollars if you don't have any to donate. I understand that. We found out that Christopher was a fraud when he contacted Glenn's Room. You guys have probably seen Glenn's Room. He frequently is on our network here at Vaughn. Anyway, Glenn's Room really probed deeply into the whole thing. More deep than I wanted to go, because I kind of felt sorry for him. He had a hair lip and he had a lot of problems. He claimed that was part of his cover for the NSA. Hey, Potato. Okay, I said it again. Sounds good, that does, Dave. Okay. Duh. Yeah, exactly. POTUS to you. It's very deep. Yeah, it's pretty deep, because I felt sorry for him the whole time he kept talking to me, when he kept thinking he could tell me a mistruth. And I'm not going to imitate the guy, but he oftentimes made statements that he claimed was high-level NSA info, and I was like, dude, I can tell you're not a member of the NSA. I mean, how do you tell somebody who talks like that they're really not who they say they are? It was implying that I was an idiot and believed what he said, which is bizarre. Because I knew, and I told Sarah, I said, I feel really insulted by this guy, because he keeps insisting that he's some sort of an NSA agent. Mr. McNasty, please, I'm asking you, do not use the N-word here, or I will ban you. That's your last warning, okay? And I guess we've got a problem with the audio here over at Meow TV Land. He's out of here. Okay. 1, 2. Maybe it does work, I don't know. But nobody's in that room, so if he's in there, I can't see him. Is the audio working, Meow TV? That's what I want to know. That's all I want to know. It's good. Thank you, Meow TV. It's good. Thank you. Awesome. Great. What's on the telestrator? Well, you could actually come in and talk to me right now. I have another website available for all of you to actually go on camera with me. And it's taken me a while to get this set up again, but I'm going to give you the link to it right now. And you can go from there. If any of you want to talk to us live, use the Chrome browser, I recommend. It's probably the best browser to use on that unit, that network. All right, so you can go into StreamUp at this time and hopefully it'll work. Ah, no, he's blocked it. Oh, isn't he slip? He's very slip. That guy, Mark, has blocked our link. Wow, we can't link outside of our location here. Oh, good code. Yeah, it was blocked. Okay, so it's streamup.com. I'll just write it in the chat room. He blocked all competitors' links. He's funny. I don't think this just goes in there. Oh, he won't even allow the word stream up. So that's what's in the star area. It's basically streamup.com/America's Third Party. All right. That's really funny that he did that. I think it's fine, yeah. No, McNasty. Hillary would be a nasty president. Yeah, she's not going to be nice. She's not affable like I am. She doesn't have that winning feel, that feeling like, I'd like to talk to you, I want to put out the impression that somebody could just sit down and talk to me because I like to talk. And that's why I wanted to get StreamUp going. But seriously, Hillary is not fit for the presidency. She's too angry. There's something about her anger and plus she won't even address this terrible thing with the her incompetence resulted in the death of 4 people, Americans in Benghazi. Yeah, there's something wrong with that whole approach. I don't know why I'm getting flickering over here. I'm trying to figure that out. My camera's doing a little weird thing. Okay. No, Bill Clinton was not the best president, by the way. Yeah, JFK was. But I'll tell you what Bill Clinton is doing. Bill Clinton is up to some shenanigans. Yeah. For some weird reason, Bill Clinton has been talking to this guy, this known sex offender, Jeffrey Epstein. And I don't think you even heard about the story much, except a couple days in the news today. Yeah, he'll block any of those links, yeah. Check this out. This story is pretty bizarre. Jeffrey Epstein, the pedophile fixer, has close ties to the Clintons. I mean, this is from the Weekly Standard, okay? I'm not making any of this up, folks. Check this out. Seriously. A woman alleged to have been the fixer for Jeffrey Epstein, a pedophile and a friend of Bill Clinton, has herself long had ties to the former president of the United States. Indeed, it's clear that even as her associate, Epstein admitted to procuring sex with someone under the age of 18 and registered as a sex offender in 2008. Ghislaine Maxwell's relationship with the Clintons flourished. Maxwell is the president and founder of a nonprofit group that helps protect the ocean, Terramar Project, and as recently as 2013, she attended the Clinton Global Initiative, where her charity made a public commitment. The press release of the Clinton Global Initiative read, whatever. The Terramar Project is still listed on the Clinton Foundation website, even after her participation with Epstein and the scandal continued. So, you tell me. What a great guy is he? I don't know. I mean, he's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. You think we'll ever get Bill Clinton to court on this? I noticed my image is blinking. I don't know why.
I wonder now.
If it's because we're broadcasting on a separate signal?
No. I don't know about that, but I just was thinking about video with Joe Biden.
Okay. Ever since then?
Kids, and no, just when you're talking about this, I'm wondering if they, Biden would be running for president against Hillary.
Right.
So maybe that video with him always saying, "Hey kid, come stand by me."
I need a hug, kid.
Yeah, it's quite a story. He's holding the kids really close to him. It's like amazing.
But it's kind of funny because it's a story that's like the Clinton campaign could have created that video to make it seem like Biden was that way.
Yeah, maybe they just did the video to push deflect the news off of Bill and went on to Biden. That's an interesting theory, Sarah. Boy, you're starting to sound very inquisitive. Sarah's starting to really ask big questions. I will not allow Ron Jeremy or Bill Clinton to be my vice president. I've already chosen Sarah Hart as my vice president, okay? Someone is clearly overriding my video. I'm going to stop broadcasting. Hello, Scissor Fight. I guess I should continue broadcasting. Okay, it could be because I'm running a broadcast over there. I'm going to drop off uVlog. All right, thank you. I am nothing in religion. I am not a pastor. I am not a zealot. I am not a proselytizer. I don't believe in religion. I believe in God. And I have a personal relationship with the Lord. Sarah Hart is my running mate. She was talking behind me there. David, somebody is rebroadcasting my video? Where?
Awesome. Fantastic.
Because that's great. Yeah, there's an article on blackface that appeared in the news. Yeah, they tried to attack me. The Democratic Party did. No, I was baptized Catholic. I renounced my religion when I was 11 years old. If you're receiving this message both psychically and on your laptop or computer, it's because it was meant to be. Brethren, we have been going down this path for many centuries. We've seen greed and avarice take over our leadership. But you know and I know that the Lord struck down the money changers and now they're back again. Have you ever seen Paul McCartney's reaction to John Lennon's death? It's kind of interesting.
This is John Lawrence in London. Another of John Lennon's former partners, Paul McCartney, spent the day at an Oxford Street studio saying, "Work is the best tonic." Police were standing by along with reporters as McCartney finished.
What was your reaction to the death of John Lennon?
I was very shocked, It's terrible news.
What were you recording today?
I was just listening to some stuff, I just didn't want to sit at home.
Why?
Well, I didn't feel like it.
What time did you hear the news?
This morning sometime.
Very early?
Yeah. Don't know, yeah? Drag, isn't it?
It's a drag, isn't it? Yeah, it's a drag. I mean, you can tell he was really shocked. I cried, personally. Five Color Patch, yeah. Again, I'm going to purge and I'm going to warn you, this is a bannable offense if you come in here and recite the tripe that they said in that article, which is from a foreign newspaper run in Canada, which in no way has any valid effect on anything I'm doing right now or ever done. I'm not a racist and never have been, and they falsely accused me of these terrible things. Okay, George Soros, let's take a look. Funds Ferguson protest, hopes to spur civil. Yeah, I knew that there was something coming out of the George Soros camp when I saw all those Occupy Wall Street people, the same people gathering for the Ferguson riots. So they want to create a racial conflict, the Democrats do. It's pretty obvious.
I'm Alex Sawyer. This is your exclusive Washington Times daily briefing. The IRS has seen a devastating erosion of its ability to do its job, and the worst is yet to come after budget cuts have trimmed staff and the Tea Party targeting scandal has damaged the agency's reputation. According to a new report, the IRS will hit new lows of service to taxpayers.
I'm so glad they're hiring special needs people at that Washington Times. It's really cool. They need to work. It's terribly boring, yeah. I went to a Trader Joe's last week, and it was weird. There's these special needs people walking around the store, and it's like they're bumping into you, and they're standing in front of people and they're yelling and they're making comments. I couldn't believe it. It's just amazing how many special needs people are now working in our local stores and grocery stores, making $12 to $15 an hour. Isn't that wonderful? I know. You can frequently walk up to people in like Walmart and ask them, hey, could I find the coffee? And you say, huh? What? They're making $12 an hour at some box stores. What's going on? Have we become like a nation of special needs people? Is that what's happening? I mean, we may all have special needs. I got that. But why am I blinking? Will you please contact the NSA and ask them to stop blinking my signal? They should work at doing nothing. It's hard. Have you ever tried to do nothing for a long period of time? You should get paid for doing nothing. So they're getting paid to do nothing. They have a right to work, absolutely. But some of you Democrats want to just hire them even though they don't do anything. Do you see the problem with that? Not only do you not know how to make products, not only do you not know how to price marijuana appropriately so people might want to buy it, or put out marijuana that has THC in it, but you want to hire basically disabled people just because it's the right thing to do. Yes, we filed with the FEC, and we've been 100% FEC compliant ever since we started. If you guys want to see our entire platform, a lot of you will be interested because it is socially liberal and it's fiscally conservative. If you're a social liberal or a fiscal conservative, you're going to like what we do. We have a plan to actually get this country to be solvent by 2017, get a zero deficit by 2017. So if you want to go to our website, you can. We're being knocked out by none other than the Illuminati tonight. We're being hit hard. See that signal? It's some sort of a batch rebound going on through the internet. Well, you should be offended by what? The fact that we're hiring people who don't do anything? You mean I'm not allowed to talk about the fact that I walk up to these people and they bump into me and they don't know what they're doing? Well, you can be whatever you want. Well, you're obviously an imbecile who supports a nanny state that wants to hire people who are imbeciles at jobs that they don't do anything without producing any products. I'm asking you, why are we putting all of our education funds right now into focusing on people with disabilities when they're the ones that are least likely to ever accomplish anything? These are not subliminal messages. I'm not making any motions with my body at all. During the glitches, it may appear that I'm trying to control your mind, but I'm not. Everything's perfectly normal. So if you are trying to like say, wow, this is weird, this is kind of freaking me out with this glitching picture of it, just say a prayer against it. And don't act like there's anything going on that would disturb you. Yeah. It's perhaps a demonization going on. People are attacking our show. Yes, they can. And yes, they are disabled. And yes, they're working at $12 to $15 an hour, okay? Well, if you're an imbecile, there is more work for them. In this quasi-nanny state, socialist, subsidized nightmare we're living, you can go get a job and do nothing and walk into people and, insult them. The problem is, no, social liberals like me don't want to redistribute liberal tax money. No. You see, you guys have been hooked up to the paradigm of democratic thinking. We came up with a brand new innovative concept called hybrid capitalism, where we introduced an entire plan in a 200-page book, which you can purchase at our store or download. Okay? And hybrid capitalism's goal essentially was to create a way in which we could loop the capital for our American operations, American businesses. I'm talking about government jobs here. So I'm a guy who you may like because I want to create government jobs in America. I want the government to actually compete in the free market. What a concept. It's entirely possible. The government could get a return on investment. And that's been my argument from the very beginning. Without any return on investment, they have to drain the tax dollars of cabal of the American hardworking people. And I don't want that to happen. I'm ready to do a press conference here from the Centers for Disease Control. Whatever happened to Ebola? How come it's not a big deal anymore? I am progressive and fiscally conservative. So don't try to label me, all right? Thank you. I'll say what I am. I'm progressive and fiscally conservative at the same time. When you're president, what are you going to do about the blacks? We're going to make sure that the whites have just as much opportunity as the blacks. That's what I'm going to do. And we don't want to racially profile people as blacks, white, Hispanic, whatever. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, what happened to Ebola? Does anybody know? The CDC leaked Ebola recently. Well, if this is the Cloward-Piven plan, then I guess you're part of it right now, just coming into the show. What's your view on the gay marriage? Well, I don't support the gay marriage, McNasty, but I do support the gay rights, the right to be gay. And I don't think that people who are gay should be discriminated against. Ebola was leaked, according to the CDC. Ebola leaked CDC report projects 500,000 cases by January. Wow. This was a really weird story. I mean, they really projected Ebola to have 500,000 cases by January. Well, I'm not here. If you would like me to stand up for gays, I'll do that. Hang on just a second. Well, hello, everybody. Let's just make it work. We're here with the CDC document. What's your next question? Any other questions? Okay. We've had a crash. Hold on. Scissor Fight, hello. Hello. Thanks for coming in over there. Wow. Cool. Okay, I think I'm going to close some browsers here. It's time. And opening up a fresh one. Sarah, I have to get some coffee, so I'm going to go do that. And you guys can watch the show or something. Okay? Maybe you could watch the CDC talk about Ebola. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Not. Surely we can talk about something here. Okay. Let's talk to Mr. Fried.
To improve the safety in our healthcare settings. And second, what's going on with contact. I'm delighted to be joined by Dr. David Lakey. Dr. Lakey is in Texas along with the excellent team from the Texas State and the County Health Departments, as well as more than 20 staff from CDC who are helping with all aspects of the response. In Dallas, what we've done over the past 48 hours to improve infection control there is send a team into the field. And we've sent CDC's most experienced staff, people who have worked on Ebola outbreaks for decades, people who have stopped Ebola outbreaks in very difficult situations in Africa, people who are experts leading the world in everything from laboratory science to infection control to hospital administration. And we're working hand in glove, side by side, with the folks at the hospital and with the teams from the health departments in Texas, as well as the county and the state. Some of the things that the teams are doing to improve safety are looking at every step in the procedures. And those experts are making immediate enhancements in what's being done. I'll mention three in particular, although there are three of just a large series.
the things that are being done is we are allowing the Ebola virus to come into America and cross-contaminate with the general population, therefore justifying the multi-billion-dollar vaccination program, which we're working on diligently to force upon the population to pre-vaccinate everyone with Ebola and rabies. Where do they get these bureaucrats? I mean, seriously, what rock did he crawl out from under? How did he become a leader for the CDC? I mean, seriously. They just want to make money, and they want to force these contaminated viruses into our body. Ronald McDonald, yeah. We ask for accounting from our government as they ask from us. Exactly, Spectra, I agree. I know, marijuana legalization is the right way to go. You'd think that President Barack Obama would have thought of that. I think you are a psychotic. So here's a psychotic calling me a sociopath. That's like a guy who thinks he's God calling the guy who thinks he's Jesus a liar. David Sponheim's wondering, David, why do you support ass pirates and vagina lickers getting married to the same sex? I don't support same-sex marriage on a national level. I've told you that. I've even said I don't support national same-sex marriage multiple times. Why do you accuse me of being a butt licker or supporting that? I mean, this is ridiculous. How dare you? And in fact, you're ruining my cup of coffee. Many people are saying, David, do you even take this show seriously? Well, of course I take it seriously. I take this entire political movement seriously. But I'm not going to stand around and pander to a bunch of mamby-pamby homosexuals who want me to bend over and grab my ankles. Let's face it, this country needs some good solid Americanism. It's not a comedy, Johnny. If you're laughing, you should leave the room. I want you to be crying by the end of this show. I want you to be in tears because you realize what a screwed up society we have with these two parties on the take and no political movement for American people to get represented. Stop Going Inside says, I cry every show. I want you laughing so hard you're crying, okay, Johnny? And if the flickering is bothering you, just don't freak out. It's subliminal messaging. It's nothing to worry about. Just approach this more delicately with lube, and you'll have a much better political moment, okay? And if you are finding anything I say disagreeable, you can always cast me into hell or bind me in the name of Jesus. Okay? My fellow Americans, I am not a crook. '53, yeah, it's getting warmer here in Whidbey. We probably have a few people from Whidbey Island here who saw my signs when I tried to run for a local campaign and I was basically cheated out of an election. Thanks for coming in if you're from our local area. Welcome to the Flickr Show. I'm your Flickr host. Ukrainian women stage a sex strike? Wow. Well, I guess they have no gas, so they're going to have plenty of time to have sex. Should be interesting to find out what happens there. Okay. You have several from Arizona. Thank you, Shrek. I appreciate that. And by the way, guys, we take this seriously. We've been processing war after war being fought in the name of freedom when we ourselves are losing our freedom. And this imbecile that I had on the show earlier,
myself, are physicians trained in infectious diseases and public health. Others are specialists in laboratory science.
He's a talking head. I crack you up? Cool. Well, the guy is a talking head, and it's a Peters principle all over again. Peters principle is this. People will achieve the highest level of their own incompetence. I know. 3 to 5 large signs were stolen from me. Yeah, 90% of all my small signs were stolen too. I'll update my memo on my site. 90% of my small signs were stolen, and that's not something to just joke about. Seriously. If you're having problems with the entire show and it's beginning to become topsy-turvy or it's freaking you out, don't worry. This is how it normally happens when we're being attacked. Okay, yeah. I did the flip thing. That was my doing. We're not really sure exactly how this is happening, why we're getting a blinking light thing, but it could be a result of possibly YouTube. That's possible. Amazing how many banknotes hold hardly any value. What's more, the USA banknote contains no color. Wow. No color, huh? Is that because it's politically correct printing of the dollar? Connecting. I don't know if I want to play that, David Sponheim. Are you making fun of gay people here? Don't you realize we have a lot of socially liberal people in the room right now that want to get my vote? Or I want their vote, actually. If you really want to come down hard on gays, then just don't be gay, okay? Wouldn't that be a life changer for a lot of Republicans who hate gays? Stop being gay. Stop being closet gays. A lot of these people just want me in bed, right? You're right. It's obvious. It seems that mankind has become so fixated on sex, womankind too, that all they can think about is just diversions. Things to take their mind off of their trivial life, their reality, Mr. Anderson. They're taking it from their mindset, Mr. Anderson. Losing their lust. Becoming masturbatory psychopaths. Well, I am offering them something. No discrimination. Whoa. No discrimination. That is what I'm offering the gays. My subliminal message has a subliminal message, Mr. Anderson. Thank you, Fairbite. Welcome to the show. And to all of you, I bid you hello. You see, we are like you, Mr. Anderson. Just like you, wanting to be liked, wanting to be special. And like you, we have replicated, and we have become many. Many more mini-me's are forming everywhere in America. People are beginning to wonder, are you the real David Sponheim, or are you someone else? Well, we'd like to talk about some things real quick that are important to us, and I would love to show you our ideas to help save this nation. I don't talk about conspiracies on Friday nights. I talk about them on Monday nights. We want to talk about solutions, hybrid capitalist solutions to the country's problems. And we have a plan with hybrid capitalism to actually get the government to get a return on investment. And you can ask these two guys behind me to back me up on this, okay? If anyone would like to ask any questions specifically, I will answer them in triplicate. Okay, question number 1. I don't think that's appropriate either, man. You keep sending weird stuff, man. I don't know if I should play that. The U.S. Department of Defense is to send 400 troops and hundreds of support staff to train moderate rebels against Islamic State ISIS. Scissor fight, thank you, that's a good link. This is exactly what I was worried about, folks. This is the telltale sign of a president. It should be low. I stopped guest chat. I can go guest on. We'll bring it up again. I can link you to the Obama Ebola video. Absolutely. Hold on. People are having fun tonight. They're going out in the town, you know? Be nice, guests. Here's the Obama Ebola video. Here it is. Thank you. All right. Yeah, ever since I turned the guest chat off, they just haven't decided to come in. I don't blame them, really. So, I'm the one you prefer. Okay, thank you. All right, good. David, can you do a small cam and spin about the screen? I want to play a whack. What? Just because you haven't supported us, except to come into our room, Asset DJ, doesn't mean you want to make a mockery of our show. Okay? In wind and rain, the Pope leads a mass for thousands of Philippine people. After they chained and basically pulled people off the streets that were savory.
What can you tell us about the weather there, and what can you tell us about any warning people may have heard for what's ahead?
People are out in mass, they're not in the streets. People are prepared with raincoats, but it is a bit stronger than.
You know, there's a lot of papal mysteries that are happening. Remember recently, about 6 months ago, the Pope released two beautiful doves into the air outside of the window, outside of the Vatican. And the two doves flew away, except they were attacked by a couple of crows that killed them. And it was on camera. I wish I had a copy of it. Crows kill doves at Vatican. Let's see if I have a copy of it. Yeah. Watch the doves that were released from the Vatican in this video right here.
Doves released in the Vatican as a gesture of peace are immediately attacked by vicious seagull and crow. Two white doves released by children standing alongside Pope Francis as a peace gesture today were attacked by other birds. As tens of thousands of people watched in St. Peter's Square, a seagull and a large black crow swept down on the doves right after they were set free from an open window of the Apostolic Palace. One dove lost some feathers as it broke free from the gull, but the crow pecked repeatedly at the other dove. It was not clear what happened to the doves as they flew off.
Okay. Well, I think you are very nice to see and understand that. Why is this person hiding their voice? The U.S. is going to send 400 troops to train Syrian rebels. Okay? And this isn't starting a war in Syria, folks? Look at this story that just migrated into our room. Our president is beginning to start wars and doing it in full frontal appearance to the American people. Just doing it in our face. And we're all going, well, okay, I guess we have to fight another war. The sign is don't put doves out with crows. That's right. That is the sign. It's a sign. Yeah, doves and crows and seagulls don't get along. They need to change leadership in Syria so they can put an oil pipeline through it. Richard Gazinga. Yeah, exactly. And you think that that's our mission? Should that be America's primary foreign policy, to take down Syria? Why don't we come out in the open and just say we're attacking Bashar al-Assad? But Obama won't do that. No. He's pretending like he's helping the poor Syrian people by installing rebels. And mind you, these rebels, these Syrian rebels, are Muslim, and they like to kidnap Christians who support Assad. So our government, our supposedly Judeo-Christian government, is funding Muslims to kill Christians. Make sense? It sure as hell doesn't make sense, does it? Yes, crows present death and doves represent peace. These two colliding is foretelling a near future war. Exactly, that's what my thought was, David Sponheim. Religion is a tool of control, no doubt. But at the same time, why are we funding Syrian Muslims who are going to kidnap Christians? Did you even ask that question? Any of you? Am I the only person who's ever brought this up to you? Obama sends $500 million, gets Congress to sign off on it, to fund these rebels, to kidnap Christians. And what are we doing? We're sitting here drinking coffee, having a good time. Okay, bonus, if you're not Muslim in Birmingham, get out. Wow. the complexion in England is changing with their soft position on illegal immigration. And we've got a couple other things. Let's do this one. I really don't need a coffee time commercial from a drag queen. What about this one?
Hello, welcome to the Truths. Subscribe here. We're still analysing the coverage around events in Paris.
Has this guy ever washed under his armpits? Or am I the only person to notice that terrible braid he has under there? It's all psyops, Dave. We are funding them so the world keeps being afraid and lets the U.S. Army rape the world. No kidding, Richard. What do you think I've been talking about for the past 1,800 shows? You would love to express your feelings of Obama's reign of terror, but the government might be monitoring the room. Wow. You're afraid to actually talk in our room. Look at this. Is amazing, isn't it, folks? On Freedom Friday, we've got people afraid to say anything in the room for fear that it might create some sort of a backlash. Yeah, wasn't that really gross? Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Should there be a law against people using, without using... Of course, you don't have any scratch and sniff utility. You can't really smell this guy. The horizontal stabilization of our webcam is off. She's dying. Well, let's go ahead and see if I can troubleshoot the camera. Yes. Let me get a closer look of the armpit itself. Is that better? It's still flickering, isn't it? Okay, let me get rid of the camera itself and then bring it in. Add it as a new camera. Maybe that'll correct it. No, that didn't correct it either. Oh well, we'll just have to deal with it. It's as the world turns, right? No, I think you owe $50 after your balance. Of the balance you owed, you'd have to say that your balance was taken completely. You didn't owe anything. But that's a lie, because you already had a balance before your credit card was stolen. Why don't you talk to an attorney? I'm not an attorney. Thanks, Richard. I didn't realize that. Okay, scratch and sniff what? Scratch and sniff this. Katy Perry fell for this guy? Really? So that's why he's got all these hits on YouTube? 184? Wow. Russell Brand. Oh, okay. I didn't know who I had on the screen here. That's Russell Brand. I guess I'm still flickering. He's an actor too? Oh, okay. Katy Perry and he are both a tight thing. He married each other. Okay. Well, apparently some people like, smelly armpits. I don't know. It's not one of those things. He acts heterosexual. Yeah. But you guys know a lot more about this guy, Richard Brand, than I do. I just saw him for the first time just a few minutes ago, and I was shocked. Yeah, I can't imagine somebody who looks like they smell. Marilyn Manson once married himself. I can't imagine anyone more beautiful. I mean, he's a beautiful person. He has a TV show? Oh my God. He doesn't act? You smell like you look. Clean. I bet. Yeah, how many of you people like shower twice a day? Because I shower twice a day. Does anybody know? Am I the only one that showers twice a day? Wow, I guess I feel kind of weird. Ukrainian sex strike. On the heels of Russia's annexation of Crimea, the US and EU threatened sanctions against the Kremlin. Yes, I shower twice a day. I know, Meow TV, you haven't showered a lot in your life. I know that. Bi-weekly? Oh my God. I'm in the shower right now as I speak, Richard said. No, I just like to shower at least before or right after I get out of the spa. And because I swim at least twice a day, I shower twice a day. That's my excuse. But I'm thinking of installing a shower in this area right in front of the show so I could shower while I'm doing the show. I think that would be really cool. No, I actually smear all kinds of emollients on my body prior to going in the spa. I'm kidding. No, actually, my skin's not too dry. The thing about showering after the spa is it washes any residual chlorine off. Now, there's no way you possibly know that I swim in the nude unless you had a small camera mounted outside of my swim spa. Is that you, the guy that was stalking me the other day? Okay. I have never discredited anybody. All I could say is Richard Brand looked like he smelled. Now let's go back to that video, okay? Let's listen to what he had to say. I don't want to act like I'm discrediting him because he looks like he smells.
Hello, welcome to the Truths. Subscribe here. We're still analysing the coverage around events in Paris and the continued attempts to make political capital and then just literal capital from the tragedy.
This is we're learning new details about hundreds of no-go zones across France and other countries that are off limits to non-Muslims. Steve Emerson, founder of the Investigative Project, joins us.
When you hear something like Steve Emerson, founder of the Investigative Project, whatever it is he says his job is, you sort of think, this guy must be good, but apparently he's a bloody idiot, this guy Steve Emerson. He's always going around saying daft stuff, writing furious emails. And this Steve Emerson, before he starts talking, he's one of the few people that Bill O'Reilly won't have on his Fox News programme because he says he's a loose cannon and a nut. Bill, do you want Steve Emerson on?
Oh no, that he's crazy. He doesn't check his facts.
He's full of hatred. But Bill, I thought you did that.
There's a limit.
What more can you tell us about these zones, Steve?
Well, these no-go zones exist not only in France, but they exist throughout Europe.
These no-go zones exist not only in France, but in my own way of talking, for example.
He's kind of funny, I gotta admit. He has a sense of humor. I mean, would I hang with him? No. Would Katy Perry invite us to hang together with him? Maybe, I don't know. I mean, would you turn down an invite from Katy Perry to hang with Russell Brand or Richard Brand or whatever his name is? David, sometimes when you're asleep, you do? I didn't realize. I could smell that there were other people in my swim spa. It's probably you. You've always been stalking me, yeah. All right, it's amazing how little we are tuned into the news today. It's as if I think the American people have kind of become like overly bombarded by news. Overly bombarded by media. I mean, you see how they're warping everything. Continually pushing a gay agenda, okay? Romney is thinking of rehashing his attempt at running for the presidency. Same old, basically the same stuff you see every single year. South Carolina GOP to hold a 2016 presidential debate among GOP only. Nobody outside the GOP could be part of it. Have we had lockup here in the chat room? What's going on? That's weird. Yeah, we've had a chat lock over at Vaughn. And of course, Europe on a high level of terrorist threat concern, high alert over terrorist threats. Consumer prices barely rise. Has anybody purchased any food at the store lately? This is how absurd the news is. Look at this. While you guys adjust your chat. Prices barely rise. Consumer prices rose last year at the slowest pace during a period of economic growth. You know why this statistic seems so false? Because they only look at the core index of inflation, which doesn't include actually the price of food or fuel in our economy. So they're lying right here about how inflation isn't happening. The inflation they want are people's jobs price, their salaries going up and more jobs appearing, but they're not seeing that type of inflation. All right. Pretty sad, isn't it? Got a blank slate here for tonight. Wow. I've never seen chat so disturbed tonight as we've had from Vaughn right now. I'm going to go back to my Stream Up broadcast and see what's going on over there. Not much. Thank you. Wow. All right, so we are now in chat hell. Time for something completely different. Wow. I never thought it would get this bad on Vaughn. It's just, he's keeps expanding his servers and he just runs into nothing but problems. We're having a Hailbot moment. What am I going to do? What am I going to do, everybody? Help me! Chat stopped! I can't respond to your chat because you're not here! Are any of you wearing Nikes or leisure suits by any chance? God. Okay, well, we're having some fun now, aren't we? Wow. You know, last night I got it appeared to be like a death threat. I might as well bring it into the room since I'm here. Yeah. It was an email from the Illuminati. Or it wasn't an email, it was actually somebody went into our chat room and typed this expression. Let me show it to you for those of you who are watching. Look at the ominence of this expression. The ominousness. Your haste has jeopardized the fulfillment of our covenant and threatened our grand design. That you shall be spared a public display of our contempt is thanks only to Obama and his wise congressmen. Look at that chat. Is that not the weirdest chat you'd ever seen constructed in a chat room? And I know you can't chat, folks. I realize that your chat's been shut down now. You're seeing the end of American freedom right now. You're seeing our nation literally suspend the writ of habeas corpus, allowing for posse comitatus occupation in our cities. You're seeing the breakdown of our culture and some creepy guy who comes into the room and somehow wants to write some threatening statement to me, like I'm going to disappear or something. And then you got a president that is illegally allowing illegals to literally pour out of our prisons. Obama has released 35,000 illegal aliens from our prison systems in the past year. 35,000 have been released into our cities in America. All right? It's no surprise to me that Vaughn chat would be completely shut down. These people are using their tools, the very same tools that put Obama in the presidency, to keep us from actually growing as a political movement. See how we've seen people fear-mong about Kim Jong-un? Well, look at this. It typifies what's happening. Our country is literally falling under the control of Illuminati monetary elitists that think they can come in and threaten this great nation. And its innocence is being taken away. Thanks. Thanks to Obama and his wise congressman. Wow. You know, Bond Chat is down, folks. If you do want to go to America's Third Party, and you're watching the show right now, I have a chat room constructed right now in americasthirdparty.com. Let me present this for you, okay? I'm going to go ahead and put this up for you to look at. This is our website, americasthirdparty.com, and you can go there right now and start chatting, and I'll show you how to do it. You go to the video chat button right here, click on it, and you will see a running chat right here in the corner here. You can simply go in as a guest. Hi. Okay? It's that simple. Now, I'm looking at the Bond chat room right now in live, and I'm picking up, there it is. It's up there. Okay, I'm not sure why it was down on the other one. Okay. Despite a decline in the overall price index in December, the food index increased. The price index for meats, poultry, and fish increased. Yes, thank you. Okay, so I'm up over there. Apparently that was a complete crash of my chat system. Let me see if it's opening up for me. We're good? Okay, thank you very much, businessman. Thank you. It's his grandmother, Kim Jong-un's grandmother. She's the plotter. No kidding. The grandmother runs North Korea. Can you corroborate that with a link of some sort, or you just know that for a fact? Okay, thanks for that tip, 5-color patch. It really talks, thank you, we're back up and around. Okay, we're good. It really typifies what's going on in this country. All right, here we go. Yeah, I'm not sure why that happens, but it does. It's got a nice background. How about, freedom? It's what's for dinner. Oh, that's beef. I'm sorry. This is a good one. Kind of looks like the Chinese flag, though. All right. Freedom. Right. If we believe we're free, we're kidding ourselves. Freedom is something you have to earn. It's a delicious tasting meal once you cook it, but when you eat it raw, it sucks. You really know too much, yeah. Well, you, like many people, have been on the internet perusing for some time. It's his grandmother, his grandfather takes a loose back seat, yeah. Kim is just a face, wow. I wouldn't doubt that one bit, Fairbite. Thank you. Data released today by the BLS indicates the electricity price index hit an all-time high for the month of December, and for the year 2014 was the most expensive year ever for electricity in the United States. Wow, look at that. That's a very good statistic. That's from 5-color patch. Thank you. Freedom. Very interesting, man. Okay, so we know for a fact that if we don't use this muscle we call freedom, we don't actually know we have it. Now, I'm really glad I used that muscle, freedom. Had I been born in China and I did a blackface video or some sort of a weird video, I would have been killed. I would have been taken out and sent to the death bus. They have a death bus in Beijing where they simply come up to your door and take you out. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Deathmobile, but here it is. The Deathmobile. So that would be something that would happen to me for simply questioning the government. They are talking about me. They should be. I've been doing this for 6 years. And I can tell you that if you don't realize by now that I'm serious about building a third party, then you don't realize how serious the need for a third party is. I've done this with no personal gain involved. I've done this because I simply believe so strongly that a third party is the only way out for this country that I've dedicated all my time every night, cumulative of over 6,500 hours. Yeah, it must be my haste. Your haste is jeopardized. So when they write this stuff in a chat room, it's like, this is the weirdest chat I've ever gotten, and I've done lots of chat, believe me. I've got miles of chat. This is the weirdest thing I've ever gotten. You'll Scott it. Yeah, yes, you know freedom, I know. The whole concept of freedom is based in fight. You fight for your freedom. You expect us to believe you're forming a third party for anything other than sexy political groupies? You know, I can't help what's evolved in our country. If people are only talking about sex and their groupies online, it's not my fault. I've been here all along with one intent. The chat has always directed me away from the primary goal, just like this flickering light directs away from the show. But the chat has always kind of taken me off in different directions, irrelevant to creating a third party, and that's unfortunate. But that's the mindset of the American people. They're all scattered. They're completely consumed with diversions, whether it's free porn on the internet or gaming shows or whatever. I can't help the fact that you're all diverted from the focus of building this third party. I can't help that. You see, this is a bigger problem than you or I individually can handle. We are literally, as a nation, being poisoned slowly, whether it's toxicity in the environment or fluoridation in our water system. We are systematically being dumbed down. Seriously, definitely. So as much as we cry out for a third party, we're kind of paralyzed. I game too, yeah, because I'm embracing the world around me. I'm becoming more immersed in the world around me because it's so dang irrelevant. Everything has become so irrelevant. I'm not projecting. I'm actually doing that purposely to grab viewers, and it hasn't worked. Here's a very interesting picture that racism has gone away in America. There you go. That's a very interesting picture. Let's take a grab of that. Here's an African American woman nestled nicely on a group of white sheets. Isn't that nice? That's awesome. Thanks for the link. And Russell Brand doesn't get why everyone assumes that he smells bad. Yeah, okay, we're done with that. Thank you. Okay, every other question is now being addressed by our automated address system. The artificial intelligence robot is now initiating its response system. An estimated 18 million adults are potentially eligible for Medicaid in all 50 states. At least 2.5 million have substance abuse disorders. Of the 19 million uninsured adults with slightly higher incomes who are eligible for subsidized exchange insurance, an estimated 2.8 million have substance abuse problems, according to the most recent national survey by the U.S. Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. Good evening, Adele. I'm glad you could come in after a long week of working and paying off the bacon. Excuse the flickering. There's something wrong with our camera. We're not sure. We're not sure why it's happening. People are just freaked out by the, we have had this problem before when we do a YouTube broadcast. Could be the YouTube broadcast. All right. It's on the blink. I will check my monitor connection. It's not my monitor, it's got to be my camera connection. The migraine tablet company that you're receiving intermittent commercials for is not my doing. So please, don't accuse me of doing that. If you are suffering from mild problems with your head, it's nothing to do with any kind of subliminal messaging that's coming in over the screen, like this. Nothing like that. It's strictly a glitch of the entire system. I'm not sure how it happened, but I'm sure upon restart it might just go away. Sarah is taking the night off, obviously. She's worked so hard. She's constantly working, and she should take the night off, I think. Yeah, I know I'm flashing. It's a sad day in America when flashing screens constantly post. It's some little messaging. Something's happening. Other questions? Thousands of organizations working for the interests of Mexicans, blacks, and other non-whites. How many groups stand up for the cultural values and ideals of the white majority? Well, we stand up for the cultural values of everybody, including whites. So, is that okay? Is that better than nothing? Not sure. Sarah wants a strong retirement. That's why she works so hard. You see many Daves? Well, some of you are suffering any kind of headache or anything from this. You may, Okay, I'm just kidding. No, she's a teacher. She works harder than a lawyer. Yeah, so do you want an organization that represents you? Average Americans? If you're a white guy, you want to get fair treatment in colleges, don't you? I'm here for you. I don't have to, give extra privilege to black people. They already get it with affirmative action. I know, and I'll be in the retirement age. I don't really feel that time is happening for me. I did see a flicker of Excedrin. I know, Comatose. It was something I put on the screen. It was a joke. Anyway. Well, no, she does live frugally like me, and she wants to continue to build her retirement account. That's why she works. Well, folks, I'm going to drop out of my broadcast at YouTube, and I want to thank all of you for watching the YouTube show tonight. And I'm going to give the last 12 minutes just to Vaughn to see if, by chance, the YouTube signal is the thing causing this problem. All right? So thank you for watching our archive show on YouTube, and catch our show tomorrow, our anti-war rally on Saturday. And for all of you who don't see our shows every night, you can always catch them in archive at americasthirdparty.com. Just go to the site and you can watch last night's show.